Hi guys, good morning and welcome back. So today I will try to understand how to configure CI/CD pipeline for our automation project. So which is most commonly asked interview questions during the SDET interview. So before going to that, if you like my content, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so that it motivates me to come up with such interesting content for you guys. So before going to that, let me give you the context what exactly happens before configuring the CSAD jobs. So basically there will be two teams involved in this particular thing. So one is dev team, basically the one who is responsible for coding. uh, so they will be uh, the feature, they will be implementing the feature, and there will be a QA team, so the one who is going to validating that particular feature, right? So basically they will be implementing the code, and they will be pushing it into the common repository. At the end of the day, everybody will be pushing their code into their repository. So we as an automation engineers also writing the code to test those features, and we will also pushing our code to the repository, right? So once the pushing is done, what usually what happens is uh, so they will be deploying that feature to some of the sites. So then we will be executing our test cases against that particular feature, right? So assume that this is some QA site. So they will be deploying this particular repository code to this particular site. So after that we will be writing our code, and this our code is there in this particular repository, and we will be validating that particular feature in the QA site. So we will be executing our feature, right? So we will be executing our test cases. So for this, what we usually do is we will be creating the Jenkins job to automate this particular process. So basically once it is deployed, we'll be executing it. So for that, how do we automate, or how do we create a job to do this, right? So every time we cannot go and run our job manually. So say for example, we do have the test cases like regression test cases, smoke test cases, and many other types of test cases. So say for example, if you want to schedule a particular job at particular time, it has to execute on the production site, on the QA site, on whichever the site we wanted. So we can create so that particular job, and start executing it and publish the result to the stakeholders. So that is what exactly I mean to say in the DevOps cycle. So if you look at the DevOps cycle also, that is what it is telling. So there is something called continuous integration and continuous deployment. So the continuous integration is the plan, code, build, and test is the continuous integration. So the continuous deployment is release, deploy, and operate and monitor. So this is operational process. This is integration process. So this is always continuous integration. Plan, code, build, and test is the continuous integration, and continuous deployment is release, deploy, and operate and monitor. So basically to operate all these things automatically. So the DevOps team, not only DevOps team, even QA teams and dev teams are using certain number of tools Jenkins and Docker and Kubernetes and many other tools which are required for the infrastructure to do this one. So okay, so I hope you guys got a little bit context around this why we are doing that. So let me get into the project. So this is what my project is. This is my source folder. If you go to the test folder, and here I do have uh, the test runner class. So this is the entry point for my project, and here where my feature file is. So this is a simple project which is having just three test cases. One is successful login with valid credential, and successful verify login with invalid credential, and verify all the ATM services are displayed or not. So which is basically try to log in with valid one and try to log in with invalid one. So it should fail, and it should remain in the login page itself. And also user is on the login page, and in the login page it should display this kind of ATM services. So these are the three scenarios. For these three scenarios we have a step definition file, and which is having all the steps necessary for this. So when it comes to the main class, I do have a base class, so which is responsible for launching the browser and closing the browser, etc. And we do have a page class, so which is responsible for locating the elements and the action classes for that particular page, whatever is necessary. Okay, so then comes the pom.xml file. I have added all the dependencies here, and here where I do have a surefire plugin which is responsible for running the test runner class. Okay, so with that being said, so this is very simple project. So we can make it little bit more enhanced kind of a framework, like adding the extend report and adding some sort of a tags in the cucumber file, so that, like, it will automatically detected during execution in the jobs. Okay, so how to install the Jenkins and how to set up the Jenkins is a different subject. So if you guys want me to make a video on that particular Jenkins installation and configuration, please do let me know that, so I'd be very happy to do that. So the prerequisite for this video is that, so you should have all your project in the GitHub repository, and you should have all your Jenkins setup ready. Okay, so then with that being said, so this is how the Jenkins screen look like. So I have already created and ran multiple jobs, so that is the reason you are seeing this kind of a dashboard here. So I have done, like, 2 year 8 months ago, 2 year 10 months ago, I have created some of the jobs, and I have created ran some of the jobs. Okay, so this is how typical Jenkins dashboard looks like. So I have to log into the Jenkins. So Jenkins by default it runs on the localhost 8080 server. So here where we have to create a new job, click on this create new job. So you have to create you have to give the name for your project, like, banking for BDD automation project. Okay, so ours is a Maven project. Select the Maven project and click on OK. So now we will be landing into the configuration page. So this is where you can write the description about this. This is a banking BDD application test automation project. If any typo is there, please forgive me, guys. Okay, so then comes, like, we have so many options, like discard world builds and GitHub projects and test project parameterized, and multiple other sources as well. And here this is where comes in, this is where the most important part is, like, source code management. So source code management, like, ours is a Git. So go back to the Git and copy this particular link. Okay, so let me go back. This is not the link. Go back to the main project. Okay, uh, yeah, guys, so this is my main project, and this is what my URL for my repository, and paste this repository here. Okay, so you can pass the same thing as well from here. So this also works fine, so no issue with that. Okay, so then we have added the repository and a branch to build. So from which branch it has to build. So obviously, like, most of the times it will be the must branch. So if you have any specific branch to it has to run from this particular branch, so you have to change that particular branch name. Okay, okay, fine. So then, like, build triggers, say for example, if you want to run any builds periodically, you can select this one and you can put that particular schedule timing so that it will run on that particular timings. As of now I'm not configuring anything because it is set up in my local, so my system configuration does not support to run periodically. Okay, so build environment is there. So pre-steps and like build is like, as it is a Maven project, so it is a pom.xml. So in the pom.xml, in the show up plugin, so we have given the test runner file, so that from pom.xml it will go to the test runner file and it start executing it. And if you look at the test runner file, I am already like configured like all the test cases has to execute. So that is how it is configured as of now. If we go back to the test runner class, so here where the feature flag and step definition clues, so the meaning is like all the test cases will run. So that is the meaning of this. So the goal and options is like clean install. Okay. So then like post steps run only if the builds are succeeded. So you can do that as well. If the build is successful, then only we can execute the test cases like that. So if you want to configure any email notification, so that also you can do that. I'm not doing any email notifications. So you can for the stakeholders, the reports we can uh, send it via the email also. So if you want to, I mean, since we have a very less time, so that is the reason I'm making it very straightforward. If you want to know more details and in depth each and every feature, please do let me know. I'll make a separate video on the detailed view of it. Okay, so then after applying, click on save. So now we have configured a job for this particular automation project. If you go to the dashboard, uh, so the banking for BDD automation project will be listing here. So here, this is where our job is. So if you click on that, so it will open that. So the status and the features are there. Build now, workspace, and many other things are there. So as of now, let me click on build now. So now it started building the project. So now it will start executing your project from the pom.xml file, and it will read to the test runner class, and then it will run all the scenarios, guys. So that is what it will happen internally. So let me show you that one as well. So it will take some time. So we have to wait for that time. So usually we can attach the extent report as well, and that extent report can be submitted or pushed to the email notification to the stakeholder. So now it opened the Chrome browser, and it is opening logging in with the valid credentials, and now it is completed, and now it opened the second one, and it has tried, and the third one is opening now. So which is ATM services. This is the service that I'm talking about. And let me close this browser because I have not written the browser quit. Okay, so now I have completed all my the test cases as ran. So it will show you the console output as well. I'm just waiting to show you the console output as well, guys. So let it stop. So if anybody is asking in the interview, so you have to explain in such a way that how to configure the builds from the GitHub repository. You have to create a Jenkins job, so which will take uh, the GitHub repository, and it will start executing it. And if you want to enhance it, you can enhance it further as well. So that is not a problem. So it's a most important question during the interview. Please pay attention to this, and so that you can uh, explain in a better way, so that you will get. Uh, Let me click on this build. Okay. So the build console output SK. I mean, I just clicked on that, and now if you look at the console, it is like scanning for the project, and building BDD from this particular pom.xml file. And if you go to the test, running the banking test, so this particular test on the file it is running. And the test cases also we can check. Login should fail and the user remain on the login page. So this is the ATM service and this is the console output. And the build got successful, and the build time is it is taken and the finished the success. Okay, so now if we go back to the test results, here where the test results are. So total we have ran three test cases. One is all three test cases have been passed. So one is successful login with valid credentials, verify all ATM services are displayed or not, verify login with invalid credentials. If any of the test cases got failed, so it will show the status as failed. And this is what the scenario is. So if you look at scenario successful login with valid credential, given user is on the login page, and the user enters the valid name, these valid values. So after click on the login button, so user should redirect to the home page. Okay. So that is what it is for the configuring the CI/CD job, guys. So I hope it is clear for you. If any doubts or questions, please do reach out to me, so that I would be I would love to help you guys, so that we can collaboratively learn and grow together. Okay, guys. Thank you so very much for watching. If you like my content, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, guys. Thank you so very much.